Asian women have a thing for white men, and it's not true love. Haven't you noticed the rate at which Asian women jump at passport bros when passport bros go to their country? You might think it's because of your money. No, it's not because of your money. The reason they do this has to do with your color. The truth I'm going to reveal in this video. Promise me you won't use it to take advantage of these Asian women. I need you white passport bros to promise me.
White men are often seen as having high social status, which is a big deal for these Asian women. Plus, let's not forget about the offspring. Mixed-race babies are all the rage these days, and having a white dad can certainly up your cool factor. But it's not just about status, oh no. Asian women are also into positive eugenics, which basically means they want to breed with men who have good genes. And in their eyes, white men fit the bill. I mean, let's face it, white men did kind of take over the world at one point, so they must be doing something right. It's a bit of a head-scratcher. On one hand, white men get a lot of flack from Western society these days. But on the other hand, Asian women seem to be all about them. It turns out that marrying a white man can be a real game changer for these women. Suddenly, they're hobnobbing with high society and rubbing elbows with the elite. And let's not forget about the kids. Mixed-race babies are so hot right now. But it's not just Asian women who are into this whole skin color status thing. Hispanic and black women can get in on the action too. Take Brazil, for example. Over there, your social value is based more on how light or dark your skin is than on your personality. It's like a real-life game of who's the fairest of them all. So while white men might be taking some hits from society these days, they're still the top dogs in certain circles. It turns out that when white men have kids with women of other races, they're not too fussed about their lineage. Why? Because mixed-race kids are more likely to be accepted by society and have a diverse group of friends. But it's not just about the kids. Women, especially Asian women, are all about that social status. I know a couple of strapping, successful white men who married themselves some gorgeous, wealthy Asian women. These guys are tall, fit, and have engineering and military backgrounds. And their wives? Well, let's just say they're not too shabby either. They've got successful careers, they're stunningly beautiful, and they came from wealthy families. But here's the kicker. If these men had married white women with the same qualities, they'd have a much harder time climbing the social ladder. Now, don't get me wrong, these relationships aren't perfect, but they're relatively stable because the wives enjoy all the material possessions they could ever want. And let's be real, who doesn't love a good shopping spree? But what happens if the business goes south? Well, that's a whole nother can of worms. Here's the thing. You can't just go up to an Asian woman and say, hey, I'm marrying you for your social status. Nope, doesn't work like that. Women are all about projecting advantages onto themselves, and if you try to get in on their secrets, they're not too keen on sharing. Women don't care if men know their secrets. As if. The truth is, women are more afraid than a cat in a room full of cucumbers when it comes to facing and understanding their own decisions. And when they feel pressured or forced to acknowledge their selfish, predatory, and parasitic nature, they lash out like a cornered animal. But here's the thing. Shining a light on genocentrism is like a massive existential crisis for women, and those who base their identity on the false premise that women are inherently and morally superior to men are, well, majorly genocentric. So while some men might think the reaction to MGTOW, that's men going their own way, in case you didn't know, is overtly negative, it's actually a sign of an impending existential crisis for the women. You see, many Asian women are consciously trying to elevate their status and that of their future children. But if they're exposed to the truth about their motivations, well, it could be a real game changer. And you know what? I don't think it's a bad thing that MGTOW is causing an existential crisis for the women. After all, feminism has made it downright dangerous and unpopular to be a man who wants a relationship and a family. So why not give a little payback? It's time for women to look in the mirror and face their true nature. And whether that's a monster or a diva, well, that's up for debate. But one thing's for sure, it's time to stop seeing women as goddesses and start seeing them as real, flawed human beings. Now, where were we? Oh yeah, mixed-race babies from Asian women and white men. From action stars to TV hosts, there are plenty of famous men who are of mixed European and Asian descent. Did you know Bruce Lee had German roots? And that Steven Seagal has Mongolian roots? I mean, I had no idea until I read up on their biographies. And let's not forget about Ken Reeves. He's got Chinese heritage, and boy, can you see it in his facial features. But here's the thing, mixed-race children are like social chameleons, able to project their genes onto themselves in a way that appeals to people from all over the world. Asian women in particular want their kids to have chameleon qualities, and mixed-race children are more likely to have those qualities than kids with a distinct genetic background. But it's not just about being popular. Male children, especially sons, are potential future resources for their mothers. And let's be real, who doesn't want a good life and great opportunities in the future? That's why Asian women are keen on making their children more attractive by marrying white men. And some white men are totally aware of this, like professional investor Jim Rogers. He snagged himself a young wife in Asia, lives with her in Singapore, and is blessed with 2 daughters. He's even teaching his kids Chinese and English, mixing cultures like a pro. And who knows, maybe one day his billionaire daughters will marry even richer men, ensuring that Jim's genes will be in the circle of high society long after he's gone. Now that's what I call future planning. While some Asian women might settle for poor Asian men, others are looking for a different kind of partner, poor white men. Yes, you heard me right. These women believe that having kids with poor white men will open up new social circles and opportunities for their offspring. And you know what? I think they're onto something. I mean, just look at all the Eastern European men who married Filipino women. They're accepted in society, have good jobs, and their sons have a higher social status than the women who married Asian men. Anyway, that's all for today on Manhood. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and also click on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. If you find value in my videos, you can show your support through PayPal or Cash App. The links are in the description. See you next time. Cheers.